Wait for it.
We are
Now,
now.
yeah, we are now. I don't know what was going on. It was taking forever to get on there. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. We got something to say with Leonard Watkins and Kenneth Lively, or Kenneth Lively and Leonard Watkins. In case y'all don't know, I'm the Kenneth. He's Leonard. According to him, he's Leonard. I'm Kenneth. Uh, this Saturday morning, as usual, there's a lot going on in the world today, and we're gonna try to cover some of the stuff. Can't cover everything, but we're gonna try to cover some of it. One thing that I have that has caught my attention, and it's not anything new. It's that case with the young man Carmelo Anthony from in Texas, who's accused of murder.
You that's
He
the
was
you want to
African.
talk about? You don't want to talk about Cyrus right next door to you?
Cyrus. Who's
The
Cyrus?
little 14-year-old boy.
I mean, we're gonna talk about all of it.
All right, all right.
I mean, we can walk and chew gum at the same time.
No, I'm so mad. I don't know if I can walk and chew gun it right now.
It um what was that? I lost my train of thought because he asked me that question.
The guy in Texas. The guy in Texas.
Um, what happened? In case you didn't know, Carmelo is a high school student. Um, he was at a track meet, and he went over to I think it was raining or something like that, and he went over to the tent of one of the rival schools,
God.
and he was confronted by two twins. In case y'all didn't know, Carmelo is black, and the two teens were white, and they were confronting him, saying, "Why are you under the tent?" Now, Carmelo was sitting there talking to his friends, because he had friends that were on the track team that were underneath the tent, so he was talking to them. And these two white teenagers, and they've been described by a lot of people as bullies. There's always one of them bigger than everybody else. They're bullies, and they confronted him. Argument started, and they attacked him, and Carmelo ended up stabbing one of them. So this whole scenario, this whole case stems on two, in my opinion, two different fronts. The first part is the fact that everybody talks about the fact that the racial dynamic of it. Let's put it that. Let's start with that. So of course the two twins, I should say, not two twins, the twins were white, and Carmelo's black, and they've been known to bully other people. The racial part of it that comes into play with me is the old stand your ground thing, because people have said what they were doing to Carmelo. They attacked him. He didn't attack them. He was sitting there with his friends, minding his own business. They came and confronted him, and then a fight ensued. Now you have two people who are bigger than Carmelo attacking him, but for some reason, the stand your ground laws doesn't apply to him. When witnesses said they attacked him. This is what witnesses said now. People who were there on their team, their track team, said that they attacked him. I saw something last night that is indicative of, in my opinion, of how they tried to make this case. Supporters of those the twins, of the young men that got killed, are trying to make this case that, one, that Carmelo was the aggressor, and two, that they didn't attack him. One of the stories, somebody went after, I think it was a news station or a newspaper or something like that, and the pictures that they put up of Carmelo supposedly after the incident happened didn't show any injuries to Carmelo, no bruises or anything like that. Somebody called him out on it, and then whatever news outlet it was had to come back and admit that they edited the photos of Carmelo, so it wouldn't show any injuries. They literally had to admit this, that they edited the photos so it would appear that Carmelo had no injuries or anything like that. That is key, because a lot of people, especially people who are supporting those the young man that got killed, they were saying that nothing happened to him. He didn't attack. Well, Carmelo wasn't attacked. And those pictures prove, with the bruises and the cuts or whatever he had on his face, proved that he was attacked. So what we see here is a concerted effort to skew the facts and, in my opinion, poison the jury pool into thinking that nothing happened to him, that it was just he just got mad and stabbed him, that they didn't attack him. The other part of this case, the trial, and Lynn, I'm trying to get the chat up. I can't see the chat. I don't know why. Oh, there it is. I see it. The other aspect of it is what's coming up, what happened when the trial started. It's an all-white jury. This is an all-white jury deciding this young man's fate. Now, I'm not one to say that an all-white jury won't acquit him, but it's gonna be hard, because, as I said, the young man that died, this white kid, and this is in Texas. And I can't remember what part of Texas it is. Lynn, if you can, look up and see what part of Texas that was in. But having an all-white jury decide the fate of a young black man is not a good thing. And this is the thing. It was put out there that the prosecutor in this case got rid of every black person that was in the jury pool. Every single one of them. Now, I'll say this. For years, I've been telling black people, listen, if you want to give a fair trial to the young men and young women, people in our community, you have to be on the jury. You have to be in the jury pool, and the only way to become be a member of the jury pool is to be registered to vote. That's how they do it. They select juries from the jury pool. Comes from people who are registered to vote in that particular area, county, city, state, however it goes. And they go. That's how they pick the jury pool. That's where the jury pool comes from. And then when they go to the second phase of it, you report for jury duty. The second phase of it is you go in there and they'll ask a series of questions for whatever, and then they whatever the questions may be. And then the next part of it is you get to and I can't think of it. I think it's called voir dire. But they get to, the prosecution and the defense get to work out, basically select jurors from the jury pool. That's how it works. And the prosecutors in this case got rid of every single black person that was in the jury pool. Now, why would they do that? Why would they do it? It's because they didn't want anybody to feel any sympathy or empathy toward the young man that was on trial. Now, not to say that black jurors can't be unbiased like everybody else, and which is what the prosecutors are basically saying, that black people are automatically going to side with the black kid, the black young man, because he's black and because they're black, and we have a kinship. But they never say that about white jurors or white defendants. That white people won't automatically feel sympathy or empathy toward a white defendant. They never do that. They always do it to black people. Why can't prosecutors trust black people to judge the facts like everybody else? Now, I'll say this. The young man, and I'm briefly looking at what you said, Marion. The young man For all intents and purposes, this is classic stand your ground. He had no reason, he had every reason, I should say, to defend himself. Every reason. Every single reason to defend himself. He was being attacked by two people. Now, that is not the very definition of stand your ground. Nothing is. But it always seems that whenever Black people try to apply stand your ground laws, when Black defendants try to use that standard of stand your ground, prosecutors always dismiss it. Well, I shouldn't say always. In a lot of cases, dismiss it. It goes back to, there's one case of a woman who was convicted of aggravated assault. Her husband was very abusive and all of that. Told her he was going to come kill her. Came to her house. She pulled out her gun and she shot it to the roof, the ceiling. Didn't shoot him. She shot a warning shot. And they charged her with aggravated assault. Now, that is the basic. If someone tells you that they're coming to kill you, they come into your house, they've already been abusive. It's already on file that person has abused you previously. It's always on file. There's been numerous police reports about him abusing her. He comes to her house, comes at her, and she fires into the roof. And I think that was in Florida. And they refused to allow her to use defense of stand your ground. For some reason, when it comes to Black defendants, we cannot use that. Everybody else can. George Zimmerman used that. That was his defense. It was stand your ground. That young man attacked me. Trayvon Martin attacked me. Even though he was stalking Trayvon Martin, following him around, so on and so forth. But why couldn't Trayvon Martin feel stand your ground? Because he was the one that was being Zimmerman was following. He was the one that was afraid for his life. That's why he attacked him. That's the reason why he attacked George Zimmerman, because George Zimmerman was following him. You got a white man following a Black kid at night in a neighborhood that he's not familiar with or vaguely familiar with, and the Black kid can't defend himself? In this case, the young man was defending himself. That is open and shut. Stand your ground. He should have never been charged when witnesses are telling you that they attacked him. You have pictures of him with bruises on his face. And you mean to tell me that's not stand your ground? So we are not afforded the same rules as everybody else. And it's problematic. So one, you have, he can't use stand your ground. Two, you have an all-white jury in Texas. And Leonard, what part of Texas is that? Did you find it? You know you're on mute, right?
That's suburb. Suburban Dallas.
Suburb of Dallas. Okay. Suburb of Dallas. And as I said, they struck out all of the, got rid of all the Black jurors or potential Black jurors. And there's another part of it too. Historically, if we want to look at cases involving all white juries and either a Black victim or Black defendant, the white jurors always side with the white person. Historically. Now, this is not to say these people that's on the jury now may look at the facts and like, okay, yeah, this was stand your ground. He was defending himself, so on and so forth. Not to say they won't do that. But historically, that hasn't worked out good for Black people. If you want to look at the what case was it? Emmett Till. The men went to trial in there. They were acquitted. And I'm trying to think of, I think the 4 young ladies, 4 little girls that were killed in Birmingham. I think that case, they were acquitted. That's if they went to trial, they were acquitted. Historically, in the South, Black people can't get a fair shake with an all-white jury. We can. The Scottsboro boys. Not that Scottsboro. Was it the young man that was executed, the youngest person ever executed in the United States? I think he was like 12 years old.
Stymie.
Yeah, he was convicted, I think in 30 minutes by an all-white jury. He was found guilty within 30 minutes by an all-white jury of raping a white girl. Was it raping or raping and killing?
Killing two little white
girls. They had no proof that he even met the girl before. Had no proof that he had anything to do with her death. But he was found guilty in 30 minutes. So historically, Black people, Black defendants, Black victims don't get a fair shake with an all-white jury. And the last part of
George Stinney.
Yeah. The last point I'm going to make about this case, if they convict him, it's going to be overturned. The conviction is going to be overturned. Because the appeals court is going to look at this and say, how is it that you struck out that the prosecution was able to get rid of every single Black juror, potential Black juror? They only use their, I think it's called exemptions, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong. They only use it for them. They didn't try to strike any white jurors from the jury pool. They only did with Black people. And of course, they're saying, well, we have reason to do that because of this, that, and the other thing. Of course, they're going to do it, but you still end up with a all-white jury. In this case, it's going to be overturned. If he gets convicted, it's going to be overturned. Because the first thing, if I was a defense attorney, first thing I would do, matter of fact, I would already have my appeal written. That would be the first thing right there. That part right there is already written. We've done that. When you did that jury pool, when we started, when the prosecution said, okay, this is who we want on the jury and all that, and the judge agreed, hey, blah, 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 and all this, boom, my appeal was written within 20 minutes. It's written. I'm pretty sure it is. And as Marion said, he is legally innocent. Well, no, we ain't talking about, no, that's child. Now, the child case.
Wait. You Negroes, you Negroes who keep saying this is what's going to happen, in spite of all the evidence presented to you every day for the last 2 years, y'all about to drive me nuts. You do not know that they're not going to overturn that case because they're in Texas. You do not know. Let me talk. Let me finish. Let me finish. The reason we are where we are is because y'all refuse to accept what's happening. They know that they struck those jurors off because they know that appeals court in Texas is highly unlikely to overturn them. They already know that if it goes to Supreme Court, they aren't going to overturn it. We take one damn victory that Supreme Court gives us in some non-related bullshit case, this Supreme Court, and everything that they've done, and everything that they show us, and we keep making the same mistakes. What you have said that's true is this, and you say this all the time. You have said this. I want to give you total credit. If you don't participate in the voting process, the consequences are far greater than just electing candidates. You say that all the time. And one of the consequences is that jury pools are selected from voter rolls. So I don't know what the voting I don't have it in front of me what the voting rolls in Dallas are for African Americans. I don't have a clue what suburb this is, maybe predominantly white suburb, which we could go so many different ways about this that'll piss me off. Number one, stop moving into places that you know are not going to look after you when some shit breaks down. You have enough history to understand that you need to be around. You need to, whether y'all like it or not, more monolithic, so that you can elect people who look like you, who think like you, because the truth of the matter is your community, our community is the only ones that will look at things in terms of everybody and be fair. It's not going to happen in other communities. So to speak here and keep having these stupid ass conversations, knowing that that's not the case, sending your kids knowing that they're going to be dealing with aggressive racism because you think it's the best, because you ain't got the fucking balls of the wheels and come into your neighborhood and support your schools to make them the best, like they were when my mom and Marion were growing up. They had the best black teachers, the black principals, doctors, because your ass has missed the goddamn plot. It's driving me nuts because nobody wants to say what needs to be said. This kid should not be in this position, but his parents help put him in this position because you don't want to live around fucking black people, particularly poor black people. We haven't even made the conscious decision to literally run the child out of a black neighborhood. Literally. You will not sell anywhere in our community ever again. Ever. And you will fear us when you come into our neighborhood, since you think that you can chase our children down 130 yards and shoot them in the back. Nobody wants to say what needs to be said. And we're not even going after people. That's what gets me. You and I had this conversation all the time. We're not even looking for smoke, like the kids would say. They bring smoke to us. We know this kid didn't walk into that tent and start something with two white kids because we done taught them way better than that. But the fact that we still have this belief that we can put our children in these situations because they give us the best education and we can't get a good enough education amongst black people and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Stop putting your kids in these positions that you know something can happen and they aren't protected. That you think passive racism, you haven't been able to see that passive racism in our children affects them long term, which is why so many children run to HBCUs when they get to be 18. So many children. So now we're in another position where we got another black kid, not a man, a child, in a position, whereas we got to hope and pray. Boy, I tell you what, I just believe God just be looking at us and going, y'all some stupid motherfuckers. I give you all the evidence, and you still run to that. Me and you are hoping against hope. The minute you said what you said, which is they struck all the black jurors off the thing. Because as my younger brother will tell you, the people you don't want on juries is older black women, because they don't play that. They call it like they see it. And they don't like unfairness. He says it all the time, bro, you get black women on, you better be ready with your case, because they're not playing that, particularly older black women. And it's across the board for them. So you're going to strike off the black people or say people of color, knowing damn well what you're doing. Knowing damn well that his folks, and don't tell me they couldn't have fought in a house in black neighborhoods. I'm in a black neighborhood, but we beg people to come over here to come and help us not let this neighborhood go the same way that every other neighborhood in Atlanta has gone. Can't get them to come over here. And they still shoot. Yep, they are. But guess what? I got white folks run off here day, night, day, because they understand the return on investment 5 years from now. You know, put this kid in another position. And no, my brother, I don't agree with you. I don't agree that we know it's going to get overturned, because that's not what they've shown us. They've not shown us that, particularly not in this day and age, in this environment. They've not shown us that. What they're showing us is that right now, for whatever reasons, as I heard somebody say the other day, their addiction to us is damn near fatal to us. That boy's daddy don't give a damn that he gives a damn. Only thing he cares about is that his son is dead and he thinks a nigga did it. You know your kids. You know Kenny better than anybody. He know his son.
He raised him, so he raised him to be that way.
He know his son. He know his son walked over there and approached that boy. But they have what we call it. What do you call it, Kenneth? When you make the deck advantageous, you have stacked the deck because you just want a conviction. You don't see Carmelo Anthony as a kid, just like Child didn't see Cyrus as a kid. We know this. No, they don't see it. We still send them into the fire. Still. That's why Glen Hills is the way it is right now. Because when you and I grew up, we had parents that gave a damn. Now we got parents that run. They don't want to put in none of the work to make sure that their schools and their neighborhoods are top-notch with the top-notch teachers. They don't want to put in the money. They don't want to put in the work. They don't have the will. And until we start addressing that shit, we're going to be right where we are. And just what you just said, the reason that they didn't have overwhelming black, I promise you, even number one, it's not enough black people out there in that suburb, or they don't vote. I want to keep playing this game one more. I can't do it. I can't do it. I talk to Mary about this every day. I just can't do it. Yeah, you say it every time, all the time, and it's the truth. The one true thing that you always say. We have the control of our destiny if we just show the will to do what we're supposed to do. I'm done.
Well, Mary, to be quite honest, and I didn't know the jury. I knew the jury had black people on it. I know majority black. I knew the defense attorney was black. The problem is, and it wasn't overcharged. That was first-degree murder. You shoot somebody that's running away from you, that's first-degree murder. That wasn't overcharged.
Marion just said
that even if he was overcharged, even if the prosecution did overcharge him, it's still, in your opinion, they still should have convicted him. Because if somebody's running away from you, you chase them and they're running away from you, that is not, you can't say that's second-degree murder or what's the other one? Manslaughter or anything like that. Because they are running away from you. Cyrus did not fire a shot at that man. He didn't shoot him at all. He didn't pull the gun on him. They found the gun later. And that's when they came up with the defense. Oh, he threatened my son. But even if he did threaten your son, he never pulled the gun. And he was also running away. And you shot him in the back. That's first-degree murder, man. That's intent. You weren't trying to. It wasn't a thing where this young man was threatening them at that moment, if he threatened them at all. So he wasn't overcharged. First-degree murder was the exact charge it should have been. And for Black people to not see the humanity in that young man, not to think that that young man deserved to live. And all of it over, quote unquote, supposedly he tried to steal 4 bottles of water. I want to explain something to y'all. I'm going to say something. I'm a teacher, a high school teacher. I deal with juveniles every day. Matter of fact, I'm even teaching Sunday school, summer school now. So I see school students from not only Glen Hills, but I've seen them from West Side, Richmond, other schools. I ain't never in my life, since I've been a teacher, a cop too, I ain't never seen no Black teenager try to steal no goddamn water. Where the fuck does that happen? He gonna go in the store and try to steal 4 bottles of water? Who even tries to steal 4 bottles of water? Think about that. Who tries to steal 4 bottles of water? Have you ever seen anybody steal water? Let alone 4 of them. That right there doesn't even make any damn sense. And also, too, another part of it that came out. Chow has shot at like 2 or 3 other different people over the years, and it was never charged. So this wasn't something that he just did that day. He's been shooting at people for years. And every time it's self-defense. Now I want you to think about something. Really want y'all to think about something. Put this in context. You have a man that has a reputation that has shot at multiple people, multiple times, that's never been charged. Don't you think that got around in the neighborhood that this man will try to shoot you? That everybody in that neighborhood didn't know that he would try to shoot you if you steal something? Oh, and every single case was somebody was a shoplifter. So he shot at people who were shoplifters. And then he turned around and claimed that they were trying to harm him. He feared for his life. So you mean to tell me this man shot at several people and nobody in the neighborhood know that this ain't the dude you want to fuck with? You don't want to fuck with him. You wouldn't think that Cyrus wouldn't know that everybody in the neighborhood knows that? No, that ain't the one you want to fuck with, man. He crazy. Yeah. If you put all of that into context, you get somebody who is unhinged, a straight liar, has anger issues, and is racist as hell. Because everybody he shot at has been Black. That jury got that shit wrong.
That jury is a case study in how much anti-Blackness has seeped into the African American neighborhood about young Black boys. That's what that is. That jury, whether they want to believe it or not, because there is no way, and I'm going to say this, I wish somebody else said it publicly. I'm a Black attorney. I'm not taking your case. All money ain't good money. I'm not taking your case. The minute I found out that you ran a football field plus over, damn it, let's say a case of water with a gun, And that the result was that a 14-year-old, change your mindset, a 14-year-old lay bleeding out in the street. You're not Usain Bolt. You know how probably long it took him to run 130 yards, an old man and his son? Probably more like 40 seconds, not 9.5. And it didn't occur to them in running that 40 yards, running that long, this like 30 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever you want to call it. Now it's just a bottle of water. I can go to Costco and get a case of water for $6.
Marion,
Y'all just
and
want to everybody, in spite of them being fair to us.
Okay, so you're trying to tell me that because he had a gun and he had no money, which we don't know if he had no money, because they may have taken the money off of him. We have no idea. That's what the police are saying. Now, I'm a cop. I'm going to tell you straight up, I don't believe shit that they said. I don't trust them.
You trolling, man.
Okay, and you're saying that he had no money, so he was coming in to rob. How do you know he was coming to rob? That's speculation. You cannot go into the mind of Cyrus and say, oh yeah, he was intending on robbing.
Did he have a previous conviction or arrest for robbery? Had anybody come into the courtroom? Mary, I'm sure you read the case. You tell us. Had anybody, witnesses, come in and say, yeah, this is something Cyrus had done before? 14? Did he have a juvenile record? His mom's got a master's degree. As far as 14-year-olds carrying guns, Marion, unfortunately, another failure in our community. 14-year-old Black kids carry way more guns than what y'all want to think. And it's way more easy to get them accessible. Because men of goodwill in the Black community have got them abandoned in a lot of inner city of the Black community. Yeah, it's going to take a whole bunch of digging and a whole bunch of dying. You ain't getting out of this unscathed if you want to switch this around. You're not. We need to come to the conclusion you're not getting this change the dynamic of the Black community and the culture without being unscathed. Now, if you're just not willing to do it, then okay, so be it. But y'all not even willing to pay the people who's willing to do it. You want them to take about poverty. But 14-year-old Black kids, particularly boys, carry which is tragic, way more guns, including the nice ones, including the good kids, than y'all want to believe. But it does not mean that he was going in there to rob them. And there's nothing on that video from everything that I've read that said he was trying to rob them. Nothing in that video. The minute he took off out that door and got off your property, you should have stopped. It's water. And any Black person that didn't know that, fuck them. Your anti-Blackness guy, you let some Black lawyer convince you that kid deserved to die over some water? Where they do that at in any other community, Mary? Name one community that would have done that. I want you to name me one community that would have did that. One. Just one. Just one. If that had been an Asian and a white kid in a white community. Just one. Give me one community. You get to come in, you get to make your money off our community. You know the risk when you walk in there. You get to raise your family off. You send your kids to college. You don't even like the smell of Black people. You're just extracting. And you can't look at that kid and go, man, that could have been my 14-year-old Vietnamese son. You chase him down the street. I don't give a damn what they say. That Black jury got it wrong. And they should all pay. They should ostracized. And I say that with my full chest. Every last fucking one of them should be ostracized out the community because you lost the plot.
And Marion, hold on. Let me say this. Marion said they followed the judge's instructions. Fuck the judge.
The judge's instructions. They don't know nobody else.
You don't need any instructions to know that this shit was wrong.
Right.
Now,
Don't nobody.
I don't give a shit what the judge. This is crazy. We have black jurors that always listen to the judges that supposedly listen to the judge's instructions, but we can't get no white. We don't get white people get don't ever listen to the judge's instructions. We don't expect them to, but we expect black people to listen to it. Fuck them people. That judge right there. I don't give a damn what that judge said. I don't give a damn what he said.
Let them
right
appeal.
is right and wrong is wrong. That
Let
shit was wrong.
Do
that
what they
murder.
Do what they
And
do to. Let them appeal it.
Right.
Do what
right.
they do to. Let them appeal it. Let them appeal it. Let them appeal it. That's what you do to us. You make us appeal it. You're gonna goddamn find Carmelo Anthony guilty. We know that. Let's stop playing. We know that jury's gonna find it. And because they don't want the smoke from their community, and they're gonna make us appeal it. And that time they appeal it, it's gonna sit in the appellate court, he's gonna sit in jail for 2 or 3 years. God damn it, make them appeal it. An all-black jury, you just shot a 14-year-old black kid 130 yards from your store. I bet you, I ain't got to hear shit. I bet you're going to appeal it.
Marion, how long did they deliberate? You said you watched the trial. How long was the deliberation? Let's be real.
So I want to know what made you give reasonable doubt. If you watched the whole trial, are you the first person I heard say that? Did you have reasonable doubt? And what made that black attorney convince you to have reasonable doubt? And how many needed reasonable doubt to come back with a not guilty verdict? Was it just 1 or was it 3? Because I know in some places it's just a majority now. So was it 1, 2, or 3? How many black people voted for that? Tell me what was said, if you can, in short, right, or come on the show to say, hey man, this is why, because I trust your judgment. This is why I have reasonable doubt. That kid should have been shot in the back. Because everything I read said he didn't pull a gun. So he got a gun on him. All right. He didn't pull it. So I want to know, what was the reasonable doubt in your mind? Not theirs. You watched the whole trial. What was the reasonable doubt? And no, I don't think that black attorney should have took that. All money ain't good money. Give a damn if the child's walking in with 50 grand. No, bro, I'm not taking that case. Nope. Go find a white guy.
Said every black attorney in that area turned it down.
Go find it. Run him out of town. I ain't showing no sympathy for him. Not a bit. All money ain't good money. If you don't coalesce around the damn issue and make people go, nah, that ain't good for the group, and make people pay for it, we get always these one-offs.
It was unanimous. It was unanimous decision. Yeah.
Man, stop. I haven't heard one thing, and so I'm asking you, Marion, what gave you reasonable doubt? Once he stepped off the curb and it's off their property, what I'm trying to understand how it wasn't black and white for 12 people once he stepped off his property and he kept running.
And the other thing, if he presented such a danger, they never said he pulled a gun. They said he had a gun.
A big difference.
There's a big difference. They said he had a gun. They never said he pulled the gun. So being in possession of a gun for a 14-year-old, that is a crime. But if I go into a store, South Carolina is an open carry state. If I walk into a store with my gun and somebody sees that, are they automatically assuming that I'm going to rob it? Because that's an open carry state. And if he was trying to rob him, didn't he live in that area? Don't they know who that kid is? Don't they have cameras? Another thing, why didn't they, if this kid was such a danger to them and tried to rob them, why didn't they call the police? Why chase him? He already left the property. You can stand there with your gun and make sure you don't come back and call the police. Police would have picked up down the street. So we all know this wasn't about him trying to rob the place because he wasn't trying to rob it. I never said, Marion, I said 14-year-olds cannot carry guns. I did say that. But it's still an open carry state.
Here's the only thing I would give.
And they don't know. Did they know that kid personally? Did they know he was 14 years old?
No. Here's my question was, this is where I'll give them some leeway. If he's a part of that community, and most of the jurors are part of that community, if they knew something about that kid that the rest of us didn't know. Because everybody has a kid in the neighborhood where you think to yourself, man, he's just headed down the wrong route. But I'm sitting here looking to say, did he have a previous record? Did he have a juvenile record? Nothing's coming up that says he had a juvenile record. Had he cussed Miss Johnson out at the corner neighborhood and everybody knew he had cussed Miss Johnson out and threatened Mr. Smith and people had went in and talked to his dad to try to interview or talked to his mom and tried to interview and say, hey man, your son, help me understand the unanimous the verdict that says, well, there's a reasonable doubt that I could run 130 yards chasing a 14-year-old kid. I am baffled by that. I'm baffled by if you come to that conclusion. I'm just baffled. I'm sitting here looking out my window and going, damn, how far is 100 yards? And I come flying out my house. At some point, I'm going to go as a reasonable adult. Kenneth too, man, I'm running out here with my damn gun over a bottle of water. Let me take my ass back.
Oh, minute. 4 bottles of water. 4 bottles of water that he tried to steal. Now, this is the thing. This is the crazy thing. They said he tried to steal 4 bottles of water, and I guess they stopped him. But didn't he come up to the counter with the water? In the video. Didn't he go up to the counter? So that means he wasn't trying to steal it. If I'm trying to steal something, I can go into the counter. First of all, where's he gonna put 4 bottles of water? Where's he gonna put it? And as I said, teenagers don't drink water like that. You'd be hard pressed to find a teenager that will that's not an athlete that's gonna sit there and drink a lot of water. In all my students I had this past year, I could probably name 5 of them that drink water. And they always had water in a container. 5, maybe 5. I had 120 something students. And only 5 of them I can name. And those are the ones that always had water with them. So this kid go into a store, steal water? Bullshit. I'm going to call bullshit all day long on that. But he came up to the counter with 4 bottles of water that he was trying to steal. Then he was trying to rob them too. So why go get the water if he's trying to rob them? But he never pulled a gun. So he tried to rob them without pulling a gun. And they didn't see a gun until after they shot him. And they found a gun on his body. We don't even know if the damn gun was his. The child may have thrown the damn gun down next to him or put it in his bag. We don't know that shit. We have no idea. I wouldn't put it past him to have done that shit, planting the gun on him.
I just want to know, Marion, I really want to know. You said it was a unanimous decision. You watched the full jury trial. I want to know from you, what made it reasonable doubt? How do you get to reasonable doubt? Just how do you get to reasonable doubt? I'm just curious because I trust your judgment. I trust you to say, well, I got reasonable doubt because really he was running down. They say he reached into his pocket and turned around and pointed a gun at him. That's reasonable doubt. I wouldn't agree with it, but I could get it. But what made them decide? They said that he threatened his son. Did he threaten him while he was running? Where did he threaten him? Did he threaten him in the store? Where was the threat? Like, what got you to that point? Where was the threat? You say he threatened him. Where was the threat? Did he turn around and say, fuck you, damn Chinese man? What I mean, where was the threat? That's what I'm just trying to understand. It's a reasonable, rational person. Where was the threat that made you feel so threatened that you pulled out a gun and pulled the trigger? I'm asking. I mean, can you at least put in the chat? Where was you watch the case? Where
He
was
said he didn't agree with the decision. I guess he's just reporting the decision.
Okay, my bad. Nah, they were wrong. I'm like,
Okay, so he said he picked up the bottles of water, put them back numerous times. So where was he trying to steal them? And also, too, he picked up 4 bottles of water, kept putting them back. Picked them up and put them back. So he didn't try to steal the water. But they also now that was that on video, Mary? That he picked up the waters and put it back, or was that just testimony from the Childs? Because you know they were coached to say certain things. They were coached. That defense attorney coached them to say certain things and say it a certain way. And Child he told him, I need you to be meek and mild and, not be aggressive. Okay, it's all on video. So in the video, he picked it up and put it down. On the video, did he ever pull a gun? Did he pull a gun? Did he show them the gun, like in his waistband? Did he pull the shirt up and show it to him? Is that on video? Does the video have audio? Because he said he threatened his son. Okay. Now, was the threat a verbal threat? And if somebody leaves, once they leave the property, and I don't care, and I had this discussion with somebody the other day, some brothers, teachers, as a matter of fact, and I was telling them, if somebody breaks into your car, if someone breaks into your car, you can't shoot them. And it's like, well, that's not standing your ground. No, it's not. It's not. If you walk outside and see somebody breaking into your car, that is not grounds to shoot them. You legally can't do that. That's not stand your ground. Now, if they kicked in your door, you can shoot them. That's stand your ground. You're protecting yourself. So this kid has a laser. Where can you get a laser to go on a gun? None of this stuff makes any sense. So the laser fell off. And that's on video as well. So the laser fell off, and Child's son said he has a gun, and that's when they start chasing. The kid ran out the store, and that's when they started chasing him. So he never threatened the kid. He never threatened him. He never pulled the gun. He never verbally said, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to shoot you, or anything like that. He never said this is a robbery and pulled the gun, never did any of that. So where's the threat? Where's the threat? There's no threat. Because the laser falls off my gun? Can somebody say, if I walk into a store and my gun falls out of the holster, if I don't have it in the holster, or it falls on the ground, I have my pocket, it falls out of my pocket, does that mean I'm trying to rob you?
Here's the thing, Kenneth. Here's the thing. The father only had to believe there was a threat, a real threat. You ran 130 yards. There was no threat once he started running. You chased him. He really should have felt threatened, whether he stole the water or not. You're chasing me. I fall down. I lose a shoe. I get up and I run again. Let's just say I'm the threatened one. I'm running from the store. So the black jury felt, yeah, but in that instance, because according to them, the kid yelled he has a gun. In that instance, his father was justified and creating a
No,
situation.
no,
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 no, no, no, no. Just because somebody has a gun, somebody says somebody has a gun, that does not mean you can shoot them.
that's
That's
what he
not a threat. Being in
that, the,
possession of a gun is not a threat.
the question I'm asking, I would ask any of the black jurors is, how did you come to that conclusion? Like, he's running. He's being chased. He's 14. He does not have a previous record. How did this black attorney convince you that the person running was not the person under threat? I would love for one black juror to come out, but they not. Them cowards not. They ain't got the balls to get out there and say, man, I base my decision on this and I stand on it. They not. They not.
No, I'm not going to do it at all.
They not. They not. They not. When you make a decision, stand on it. We deserve you to stand on it. If you're going to be an all black jury and you make this decision and you made up your mind that a 14-year-old kid who's running away, not 10 yards, as Kenneth said, not 20 yards, he steps off your property and he's flying, he's hauling ass. We've seen it. And you make the decision to haul ass after him. You see him fall. You got your gun. He's the threat. And in that moment that you missaw or didn't understand or whatever it is that you did, in that one moment that you felt threatened, you were justified in pulling that trigger.
The thing is, as I said,
Yeah.
once he left that store, whatever threat you perceived is no longer.
It's no longer.
He's no longer a threat. Once he leaves, you could have locked it. When after he left, you could have locked the door, called the police, and waited for them to come and give him a description of him. But you chased him. And Marion, like I said, the kid had a gun. Why are you chasing him? The gun fell out, and he turned and faced child. So when did he? If he faced child, if he was facing child, why did he get shot in the back? At one point, if the witnesses said he turned and looked at child, at some point he had to turn and continue running. Whether he picked up the gun or not, whether he picked up the gun or not, he was not facing child when he was shot. That means he was still running away. And they never said. They also said he picked up the gun. This is what, according to what you said, Marion. He picked up the gun, faced him. Did he point the gun at child?
Kenny, can I make this personal? You running with Kenny. You're running with Kenny for whatever reasons after somebody done jumped on Kenny. For whatever reasons, because this is how silly this is. And Kenny's 5 yards ahead of you. And Kenny turns around, Dad, he's got a gun. And the first thing you're going to tell him is stop.
Yeah.
It's the first thing you're going to say. Man, stop. What the hell is wrong with you? Stop. No. And put him behind you. You're not going to pull out your gun and automatically fire. The first thing you're going to do is say, let me stop. But because you already had in your mind that this kid was a lethal threat. I wouldn't do that to a white kid. I'm going, man, stop. Man, hold up. Don't run no more. Stop. We this far away from our store. You have to see that other human being as less than human. Because surely you knew he was a teenager. You had a full interaction with him in the store. He got a hoodie on, he got headphones on. You knew he was a kid. You just didn't see him as a kid. If y'all don't start making some of these people pay for their decisions when it comes to the black community, including black people,
And also in reference to, people are talking boycott all Asian stores. I'll say this. That particular store, because first instinct is somebody like, hey, go destroy the store. Don't destroy it. Destroy his money. Because if you destroy the store, insurance, he's gonna get insurance. Insurance company's gonna pay him out. He may not come back in that neighborhood, but he's gonna get his money back. Make sure nobody goes in there and shop.
Let me say this. I hope this is public. My anecdotal evidence is I can go into any African American establishment. Very rarely do I see other minorities patronizing that establishment. We give everybody the benefit of the doubt because it's the right thing to do. I can go right around the corner, Marion, where we went and had birthday dinner with you and your wife. And I promise you, I can go a whole week and I won't see any minority in Mr. Everything's. I can go to Busy Bees, which serves great soul food, and won't see any minorities. But I got another wing place right here owned by an Asian guy. Nothing but Black people. They do what they do because we won't send a message. And our message is never one of hate. And we need to start acting like it's not one of hate. It's one of stop fucking with us. We support you. You're here because of us. You set up your stores in our neighborhood. We patronize you. And it's one of the reasons why I go up to my Exxon and I know the owner and I tell him all the time, hey man, tell your people behind that counter, watch how they fucking speak to my neighbors. And I know you catch hell for some of these little boys, but it's the price of business in my neighborhood. Because if you weren't making money here, you would shut it down. Know your community. Yeah, they come in, sometimes they cut the food. Absolutely, I get it. But it ain't bad enough for you to shut it down.
You right about that?
It ain't bad enough.
You wouldn't be here.
You wouldn't be here. If it was as bad as you say, what you're saying is that the money I make is worth the risk. Act like it. I gotta go to work. Y'all know what y'all gotta do. We know what we gotta do. Question is, do you have the will? All this comes back down to one thing. Us having the will to say, hey man, now I'm gonna tell you to stop messing with me. I'm gonna show you. And I don't have to show you through violence. I say this every time I come on here. I don't have to do a Malcolm X statement. I don't have to show it through violence. All I gotta do is show it by not showing up and buying your shit.
There you go.
And having the will not.
Sure my family and friends don't buy nothing from there either.
And for it to happen and just set it off just one time. All I gotta do as my community is I'm not buying your shit. I'm just not. I'm not coming in until you have a mea culpa. Till you have a mea culpa, they're gonna keep doing what they're doing. Somebody asked me the other day, man, why don't you talk about Arthur Blank the way you talk about other people? I said, because I know Arthur Blank gave $50 million to Clark. So whatever damage y'all said he did, I know he's trying to mitigate that damage in real time. He's at least showing that he's trying to mitigate it. And he gave $50 million to cover balances owed by students so they can graduate. So I know people like football, so I give him grace. I don't even trip about it, even though it'd be pissing me off to see everybody at tailgate knowing they don't do this. I don't blame him because I know what his foundation is doing because I'm over here living it. But I ain't doing that for Jerry Jones because Arthur Blank ain't got on TV and telling some my boys better not kneel. He didn't try to keep as far distance away from me. The controversial. If he ain't helping me, he ain't hurting me. All you got to do is not do it. He ain't showing the will. Kenneth says it all the time. I say it all the time. Just don't go. Just don't go to SEC schools. Simple. Okay, well, you know what, man? Hey, man, until y'all chancellor make a statement about my kids, goddamn, having the same rights as they kids in this state, you ain't about to get my black bodies and make you no more money. All you got to do is get two. This thing got the will. Always one-offs.
Mm-hmm.
Always one-offs. We know what we're supposed to do. We just ain't had the will to do it. And you want activists to take vows of poverty and to keep convincing y'all. Well, people like me getting tired. I'm done, bro. I gotta go.
All right. Well, listen, y'all, it's been a good discussion today. Very thoughtful. Hopefully, somebody we taught you something, and hopefully, we learned something, because we did learn something that we didn't know from Marion about how the trial was done.
Yeah, they sure did.
He told us something we didn't know. And it's good that I'll say this. It's good to know things, to see things for yourself. He said he watched the trial. He didn't look at highlights or get any transcripts. He saw it for himself. So he was given what he saw, what the jury saw, basically. So, and he didn't agree with the decision. He was just telling us what happened. He didn't agree with the decision. So, I'll say this. We can all say the jury got it wrong. We can all agree to that. The only issue is now is who's going to pay for this? Who's going to pay for it? As I said, don't go over there destroying the man's store or anything like that. Don't do that, because you get insurance money. Take that insurance money and go open a business somewhere else in another black neighborhood.
Might block that driveway, though.
But you damn sure, that's right. You can block the driveway, or anybody who goes in there, anybody going, you harass the hell out of them.
I harass the hell out of them.
And the trip part about it is, you don't have to be on the property to do it.
You don't have to be on the property to do it.
Sidewalk. He can call the police all he wants. What you're doing is legal. It's a legal protest. And as I told y'all before, protesting is the backbone of this country. We were born out of protest. This country was born out of protest. But it's time to go, y'all. I got a car full of liquor I got to unload. So I'm still tired from last night. Anyway, y'all be good. We'll see y'all next week. Be safe. Oh, one more thing. I just want to say this for anybody. Yesterday, I found out an old friend of mine from freshman year Tuskegee, lived on the same floor in Residence B in Tuskegee. I found out he passed away. Just want to show some love to the family of my boy Darren Mosley. Not only was a friend, he was a frat brother. Good dude, real good dude. 2 things I know he loved, or 3 things I know he loved. I know he loved his family. I know he loved his Tuskegee family, and I know he loved his fraternity. Real good brother. So he will be sorely missed, especially at homecoming, because I love just sitting and talking to this brother. One of the coolest brothers I've ever met in my entire life. So rest in paradise, my brother. We're going to miss you. See y'all next week. Deuces.
Peace.